On today's episode of Megadads Live, we're talking about Rockstar's extended look at Grand Theft Auto 6. We're playing the narrative puzzle game Swan Song, and we're discussing our favorite video game console dashboards. Like and subscribe, put on those earmuffs, and let's get started. This is Megadads Live.
Oh yes.
Mm.
Oh yes.
Mm.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
Okay. What the fuck?
Megadads Live is a mature-rated podcast. It's for the Megadads, the Mega Moms, but not the Mega Kids. So put on those earmuffs and let's go!
Have you listened to any good podcasts recently?
Have I listened to any good podcasts? My podcast intake is so weird.
Is it?
I don't listen to gaming podcasts like at all anymore.
What? That's all I do. That's crazy.
I have one podcast, and I won't name it because I don't want anybody to feel bad. But I have one in my regular rotation. And I'll kind of jump in and out of other shows. But there was this thing when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, I always wanted to be a comic book artist.
Really?
I always wanted to be a comic book artist. And I always used to read these interviews with illustrators who would say, I don't read comics. Like, they'd be super famous.
Okay.
Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, all these 90s era comic artists. And they would all say the same thing. I don't read comics. I don't read comics. And I never understood it. Because it's like, that's the thing you do. Like, and after 10, 12, however many years of podcasting about games, I've realized that I can't consume the thing that I do all the time because it's just too much. So there's one podcast that I listen to regularly because I really think it's it's a different kind of voice, right? But as far as like just getting news or hearing people talk about what they've been playing and stuff, it sounds crazy probably, but like I can't use that as my entertainment because that's the thing that I do.
Yeah, I have an unhealthy like addiction to gaming. I need to be like in it all the time. The news, industry stuff. Like, I watch detailed guides on games that I may never play. Or it also helps. I research a lot of games, like, by the time I do get it, I'll, like, understand, like, I've made a good purchase, because that's kind of, like, what I was digging into. Or I might understand a game mechanic that by the time I play it, 6 months later, like, I understand it now and I have some knowledge. And
there's something different about hearing a conversation about it than just reading headlines or an article, right? Like it is different. Absolutely, I agree.
I try to tune into as many of the people that like we know about, like obviously Nintendo Dads, 3 Dads in a Podcast, Boss Rush. I try to do like everybody like a little bit, like, and it depends, like especially when you know that someone is a podcaster who's very excited about that topic, because we're not all into like everything, right? Like there's certain things, like I know if you could talk about like Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, like things like that, like bad Jurassic Park movies, like if you're excited about the topic, I want to hear that excitement. So like I can't get enough. I've always been that way, I always will be that way. I'm open to like suggestions, about like new gaming stuff. But yeah, I love hearing opinions and sharing opinions and giving opinions. Always have. I'm like an AM radio type of person for some reason.
One podcast that it's very telling that I've completely forgot the name of it. So I'm scrolling on my phone right now. One podcast that I will recommend to you, you probably already listened to it. It is not the typical, like what we do where it's, here's the news, here's the game I've been playing, but it's about the industry and it is done so incredibly well. It's called Post Games. Do you listen to Post Games?
No.
It is basically like This American Life, but for the video game industry.
What?
And everybody should listen to this podcast if they like us are like surrounded by the culture and what's happening and are interested in like side stories. This podcast, every week we'll delve into a different facet of the industry.
Whoa.
And
You've kept this for me for how long? I'm trying to Google how long this thing has been around.
I've definitely posted about it on social, but I know you're very much not on social anymore. But it's by Chris Plant, and it's called Post Games, and it is just the most. I'm a guy that really loves a well-edited and polished product, and that's part of my problem with listening to a lot of gaming podcasts, is because a lot of gaming podcasts are a couple people sit down, often live on YouTube, talk, hit pause or hit end on the recording, and publish. And I can hear that every time.
Yeah.
I hear all the pauses, I hear all the ums, I hear all the thinking. I love when somebody spends a lot of time crafting in that editing room.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. So Post Games, that's not the show that I was talking about earlier that I listened to, but it is just so well done. So absolutely well done.
That NPR style, I love that. And Plant was the guy, Chris Plant was left Polygon in May of 2025. So he was the former editor-in-chief of Polygon. So that's very interesting. My recommendation is ACG. It's called the Best Gaming Podcast. It was formerly called like the International Gaming Podcast, I think. And it's a good conversation all the time. They don't stick to games. They talk about like a lot of science stuff, like a lot of like things about like planets and stuff. So that's like their other spin. They don't just keep themselves in the box of gaming. So yeah, check those out. It wasn't gonna be a caboose first segment. We started with the back. I don't. Do you start with the back? I don't. You could.
I try to avoid.
You try to avoid the back. Well,
typically that part of the show stinks.
Megadads is for everyone who loves gaming and the community that surrounds it. We're all about fun, fully grown, and we want you to be a part of everything we've got going on here. So what do you get when you subscribe to youtube.com/Megadads? Weekly podcasts from your favorite Megadads personalities, reviews on the latest games, reaction and analysis on the latest industry news, Gameplay Thursday videos showing off what we do on the sticks, travel logs from our trips around the world, small talk segments where we try new things with our kids, live community events like our holiday specials, and so much more each and every single day. You don't want to miss a minute of the fun. New Megadads videos drop each and every weekday, whether it's our long-form content like Megadads Live, or maybe it's one of our short series like Off the Shelf, a look at retro gaming. Please subscribe to youtube.com/Megadads today and tell your friends to come too. We're building something great here at youtube.com/Megadads, so subscribe today and be a part of Fun Fully Grown. This is Megadads.
The thing that I try to avoid with this show usually is talking about the news, because it's just.
Is it because it's shitty or like?
It's because it's shitty and because everybody does it, and because it's hard to stay current and have a valuable conversation. But we had a conversation in the Discord that we have to have here. Adam,
don't do it. Why are you going to do it?
We have to.
You're going to do it? All right, fine.
So let's do a little bit of headlines. Recently, Rockstar Games announced that they have a partnership with Netflix for a extended look at Grand Theft Auto. Is it 6? It's 6, right? It's 6.
I don't give a shit.
The new Grand Theft Auto.
I actually don't care about this game as much.
I don't
as
either.
People.
I don't either. Other than the fact that it's like a milestone of the industry, right? Like this.
Sure.
This
no, it's going to be epic.
Trend setting. My experience on social media was people are very divided about this about this approach. You and about 50% of the people are seeing this as gatekeeping and a paywall, probably because it's Netflix and it's outside the video game. Well, I'll let you explain it. You explain your thought on the Grand Theft Auto Netflix exclusive extended gameplay reveal.
Everyone's like wanting the trailer. Everyone's clamoring for it. If you're a big fan, you want to see more of the game. It's just when's the trailer? They're releasing them like a year apart. So it's an announcement of an announcement that it's going to be exclusive to Netflix for just 6 hours. No big deal to most people. It's like, oh, well, it's obviously going to be ripped either near instantly or I'll see it on YouTube later. But it's looking past that. And that in the Discord with our people, I was trying to like lay it out pretty clearly. Like there's the two obvious points. Rockstar prints money.
Yeah.
Here is them saying, oh, you know what? We can make more money by monetizing the trailer, not just by YouTube, but like we'll make this partnership with Netflix. And they had like released a Rockstar game or like some shit like that with their Netflix game. It doesn't matter. They have a relationship and the point was to make money. So it's greedy to me. It's like someone back there is like, we are making insane profits. The headline is people keep pre-ordering this thing. It's going to be insane. Yet somebody was thinking, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like that trailer, what if we like monetize the shit? Like it just seems like insane, but that's the point of business, I'm told, which is fine. I've always been a person where I'm like, make your money, but just don't do it in a gross way. So aside from the greed and the hubris, because they know that the people who love them most are going to be like someone who doesn't have Netflix, who's been clamoring. This is like the most important thing to them. And they're like, they're going to subscribe to because they cannot wait 6 hours. But I've been told that's your choice. Like you can just not do it. But my argument is this, Adam. It's gross capitalism to keep finding ways to make it where if you have money, you get more, and if you don't have money, you're on the outs. And they wait and they wait and they say, okay, can we make an unpopular decision that piss off just enough people to like get away with it? So all I'm saying is one day it might be a game you care about, it might be access that you care about, and it might be for longer. If they figure out how to, like Netflix, famously, you cannot record the screen. Screen recorders do not work on Netflix. They have some weird tech. I remember when I first like bumped into it one time, it's like they have something there where you can't like rip as easily. They're trying. But one day if they perfect it, you're just going to be looking at, we're selling access for the privilege to see an ad. And it doesn't bother us because the GTA, you know, it's not really our game. But, you know, you brought up Horizon. You're like, even if it was a Horizon trailer, like, I wouldn't mind. But you just got to see the goalposts moving. Just some foresight is all I was asking for people to see. It's like, do you see how gross it is? Do you see that maybe this opens the door for, like, Horizon, not just the trailer, but what if like the price keeps going up on the base game? Like just another situation, more money for exclusive access can be taken to a gross level. And I think this is it. So that's all I was saying. It's like they're monetizing, finding new ways to make money from a company that like, I'm surprised someone's over there asking someone else, hey, can you figure out how to make some more money here? Like someone still has that job to figure out how to make more money. Like when does that job end? It's like never. It's infinite. And I get it, I guess, make your money, but like, can we do it in a less gross way? Like, I don't know.
So I understand your argument, and I even agree with your argument. I think from my perspective, my thought is that the door's already open.
True.
And we're so saturated in these types of business moves. I mean, take a Hulu right now. Every time I open up Hulu, I see one of the little icons is a special look at, and it's a movie that's coming out in theaters. Like they did this for Mandalorian, Devil Wears Prada. Like
like the ad is like a content piece, like
it's
a square.
Content. Yeah, it's a content piece, and it's like interviews and behind the scenes and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is such a thing that's already here. Yeah. That it's not that it doesn't bother me. It's just that like I feel like you're talking about the moving the goalposts. Like I feel like we've already cleared it. Yeah. And especially in the gaming industry, where for the last, I don't even know how long we've been dealing with everything getting more expensive, more restrictive, and worse. Like
Agreed.
I don't disagree with any of your points. I don't know, maybe I'm numb to it. Maybe it's the fact that I'm not really, I'm interested in this game from the perspective of, I think it's going to be like a massive, everybody knows it's going to be a massive footnote in the history of gaming. And like, I used to play Grand Theft Auto. I don't know that there's a world, I've said this before, I don't know that there's a world that I can actually play this game with my life the way it is right now. I have 2 young kids. I can't play this game in a box, so I'm probably not going to get it. But I also said, like what you said earlier, even if this was a Horizon, like the window is so small. I didn't feel like this was something that was really impacting me, but I absolutely understand your point, and they're very valid.
That's the key.
And a lot of people are saying the exact same thing that you're saying.
I'm glad I'm not on social because it was not influenced in any way. Like, I didn't know other people like were upset besides me, but it was just so clear to me. This does not affect me just because, again, I don't need to watch the trailer early. I didn't care about the particular game. It's just like, it's really cool from a tech perspective, but like I shoot things a lot, you know what I mean? Like I don't, it's like,
how many hookers do you shoot?
We're gonna break more laws and we're gonna be gross. I'm like, it's not really my cup of tea. It doesn't affect me in the slightest, actually, but my empathy is like out of control, and I see, like, for someone who does care, like that sucks, because most early access doesn't affect me because the game isn't on my list. But like, if I think of like my most anticipated game, and let's just say they extended early access from 5 days to 15 days, 20, and they made it $150 to get in instead of 60. It's like, pay us like double plus. Like, you know, it's the more egregious you get, the more it's more apparent how like this isn't like cool. Like, you could get away with it. You could make more money, but like, it just feels like inequity. I feel it for other people.
No, absolutely agree.
The place to be for Megadads socials is the Megadads Discord, where you can engage with your favorite Megadads as well as other friends of the Megadads every single day in our stress-free and welcoming social space. When you're a member of our Discord, you will get alerts for all of our content drops, so you never have to miss a review, a podcast, or a hot take. Partake in our fun weekly Megadads holidays like Waluigi Wednesday and Final Fantasy Sunday. Megadads Discord is fun, free, and follows you wherever you go. Join us today and become part of the conversation.
You want to talk about a video game?
Sure.
All right, let's talk about Swan Song. I received a code for Swan Song, which is a puzzle game from Business Goose Studios. Man, that's a great name. So I think sometimes the best part of the video game industry are the studio names. Business Goose Studios is just delightful. Swan Song is a game that is all about puzzles that help tell a narrative. I fired this game up, and the title card says that this game is based on true events and that you should be cautious when playing it because it deals with themes of loss. So the story that is being told in Swan Song is a story about a family who is dealing with a loved one who passes away from an illness. But it's a puzzle game, and it's a puzzle game played in the confines of a music box. So this is going to be a very difficult game for me to talk about gameplay wise. So I highly encourage people, if they're listening to the podcast version of this episode, please go to YouTube. You'll see gameplay that hopefully will help kind of bridge the gap between what this game is and what my words are able to describe.
Yeah, it's complex already.
It is a very, very complex puzzle game that I'm probably going to do an incredible disservice to when I explain how it works. So the game is set with one perspective on a music box. You open the lid of the music box and you see a note chart, and then a movement grid. And on the movement grid, there are tiles that you have to navigate, and your icon is this little Swan Song. On the music grid, you have to place markers that help move the tiles or move your character as you progress on the note chart. So there'll be blue tiles, green tiles. Some of them will twist. Some of them will pivot. Some of the tiles will have enemies on them. They're all color coded, and you place these music notes on the music chart. And when you are ready to trigger the movement, you turn the key on the music box. All right. So let's say you put your music note on the goose tile. When the music progresses to that part of the music chart, the goose will move. If you put your note on the red tile, if the red tile on the movement is a twist, then that part of the tile will twist and turn your goose a certain way. It starts off incredibly basic. You put a couple notes on, you twist the key, your goose will move, the tile will pivot. You try to get your goose from point A to point B based on how you put your note markers on the chart. Starts out very basic, to the point where after I got through the first couple of the worlds, I was like, this is too simple. This is too easy. It gets very hard.
No, it looks difficult. Everything you're saying is screaming like a little too complex for my brain, but
it is very much it feels almost like playing a piano, like left brain, right brain. Like your hand, when you're playing a piano, your hands have to do two different things. In this game, your brain kind of has to do two different things. You have to watch the icons moving and the tiles sliding or twisting, and you have to watch the music notes as it's playing in real time. After you twist that key, everything gets set in motion, and you watch to see if your goose successfully gets to the goal, or maybe you made a mistake and the goose falls off, or maybe you made a mistake and there's an enemy that triggers and it attacks your goose and you die. You have to look at what's moving, and you also have to look at the note chart to see where you misplaced your note, so that when you fail, you can make that correction.
So you adjust the music notes, and then you're like, you have to plan out everything in advance. So if you laid out the music right, the little puzzle grid of the swan moving on tiles will go right or go wrong, and you get to the end or not.
And you cannot adjust in real time, and you cannot pause. So once you turn the key...
It's a memory game a little bit.
Kind of.
How much do I have to know about music notes? Because I don't know what they mean. Okay, great. It's just the symbol. Okay.
Right. It's basically a symbol. So there'll be... And I don't know how to read music, even though I
what the hell?
Aren't
you like a musician?
I am a musician, but I never learned. I play by ear, so I've never learned to read music, right? But
I didn't know you were a fraud. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
News alert.
You've known me all this time. You didn't know that was a complete phony.
Headlines: Adams a musical fraud.
But there are certain note icons where they're tied together, and I don't know the formal name of it, but they'll be like a little dot, and then their little thing connects it, and then there's another little dot, right? I don't know what the fuck that's called, but in the game, you have to lay those down together, which means they are triggering multiple tiles at the same time.
Oh, because it's connected. Yeah, that note that looks like it's two notes or whatever.
And then it gets to a point where the turn of the key doesn't just play things through once. There'll be multiple playthroughs, so it'll loop. So you have to start setting...
I was about to say, at least it's short.
No, you have to start setting your notes to account for the loop. So once it gets to the end of the chart, it starts over and it keeps going. So there are certain tiles that you want to trigger before your goose ever gets there, so that by the time the loop happens, it'll trigger again by the time you... It is so confusing. And I apologize to our audio listeners. Again, please go to youtube.com/megadads. It'll make more sense when you see it in motion. But that's the puzzle element. And the other side of it is the narrative, is the story. And that's where this game kind of falls apart for me, because it feels like two different things. It feels very disparate. You'll play a couple levels and then they'll give you, like, for lack of a better word, a cutscene, right? You'll read a thing or you'll hear a dialogue, and both sides of the coin are good. Like, the puzzles are really interesting and challenging, and you feel really good when you figure it out. And the story is very heartbreaking, and it's told really well with wonderful music, but I don't understand how they live in the same game. Maybe this is something that comes together at the end where it kind of makes sense what the music box that the puzzles are contained in has to do with the story, but I haven't got there yet. And I'm on the 5th world, which is probably like 50 puzzles deep, and it still doesn't connect for me. Like, I'm not sure how those two things tether together. Really interesting indie game. I'm playing this on PC. This is a Steam game, so it's probably really cheap. Forgive me, I don't know the cost.
$7.99 with a demo available.
There you go. So if you're listening to me and completely confused about what the hell I'm talking about and you want to give it a try yourself, there's a demo available on Steam. If you like puzzle games that are really challenging and different, like, this is a very different kind of thing.
Yeah.
You should absolutely give it a shot. I like it quite a bit. I don't love it. Sometimes the frustration gets a little too much. The complicated puzzles are incredibly complicated, and it continues to layer more and more and more as you go, to the point where I'm almost hitting a wall. I just can't figure out the one that I'm on right now. But I found that I can walk away from this game and come back with a fresh mind, and sometimes that's what it takes to clear the next puzzle. You know, like when you overthink it and you just break your brain and you have to step away. This game is very pick up and play. Very, very, very pick up and play. So maybe this is something that you can kind of do when you're doing your work at your computer. Maybe you drop a couple puzzles in Swan Song and you move on. Don't do any marathon sessions. It's a really interesting game, and it's an indie one, right? Like, we'd like to promote these small scale projects. People are doing good work in the indie space.
Absolutely. It looks beautiful, like the art style, and there's something about like a music box, just period, that has that vibe. So I'm sure that that's all like being tied together. Again, excellent reviews, like all 9, 10 out of 10. So this is great for me. Puzzle games, I usually tell people that I don't do puzzle games just because it's so rare. There's another game that plays out on a small grid called Minesweeper Genius, and it's just a small game that's based on Minesweeper, and it's like a play on that. And they have a lot of these small grid puzzles where it's always only so big, but then it also expands over time. And that one I'm addicted to. So I just never know how much pushback is going to be enough for me to like not be frustrated. And like, do I understand the rules? Famously, I could not get into Blueprints because it just was not clicking with me, like what the game was asking me to do.
Yes.
So it just depends. And this one, if you're a music person at all, I think you owe it to yourself to like get into it. Swan Song.
Yeah,
very
really
nice.
good.
More than 12 years ago, Megadad started as a place for an older generation to go to talk about their love of video games. We know that just because you get older doesn't mean you stop having fun, and gaming will always be our passion. But just as people grow and change over the years, so has Megadads, and that's why today's Megadads celebrates fun, fully grown.
We know your interests are broad. Ours are too. And while video games will always be at the core of what we do, we're dedicated to showing you all the ways we celebrate fun, fully grown here at Megadads.
Whether it's playing the latest video games,
checking out the coolest movies,
finding the rarest cards,
unboxing amazing collectibles,
or simply exploring the world around us,
you can be sure you'll get coverage of the best that life has to offer. There's so much to enjoy in this world, and we here at Megadads are dedicated to showing it to you. So subscribe today and come by every day, because this is Megadads, fun, fully grown.
All right, we're going to do a new segment right here.
Uh-oh.
A new segment that I thought might be fun. We're doing my favorites. And so every time when we do a my favorite, we're going to pick a category that's tethered to gaming, and we're going to give our favorites from that category. And today on my favorite, we're doing video game console dashboards. This is something that I've been thinking about a lot ever since I've been doing a lot of retro coverage. If you're on the channel a lot, you'll see that I've been doing a lot of looks at retro gaming. And something that for over half of my time in gaming that wasn't a thing was the video game dashboard, right? You used to put your cartridge in to your Nintendo box, hit the power button, and there was the game, right? There was no load screen, there was no setup, there was no dashboard at all to launch your game. But now that's a very prominent thing. It's on every video game console. Some do it better than others. And that got me thinking, what was your favorite video game console dashboard? Antonio, what do you got here?
Okay. Here's the hot take, right?
Mhm.
No video game console dashboard has like ever nailed it, period. That's one thing. I love the Xbox One dashboard. If you recall something called the Windows Phone and this ecosystem that they were trying to do at the time where it's all tiles and it had like a very like bright colors. Like you usually pick one and it would give you like a variation. Like if you pick blue, it'd be all like kind of blue tiles. If you hit red, it would be like a couple shades of red. And I loved it. It was the worst version of what came later because when they give you more options over time of what the tiles were and what size they were, I like that customization because the tiles in my mind work, period. But then once they gave you control, it was even better. So I'm going to go with the Xbox One dashboard. Severely unpopular to the point where the Windows Phone died. But I liked it. And they started to phase it out of the start menu and stuff. Like to this day, like they're trying to get rid of it more. And I want it back. It was a better variation, all the Xbox ones later, and including PlayStation, because all I want is to see the cool customizable background for any UI. That's what I want. That should be prominent. Then when I tap something and it's like no longer asleep or then let the menus or options pop up. Show me the cool thing, and you can even show me your ads. Keep some ad things if you want, but just make them go away when it's just like on the dashboard, because I love themes, period. I love themes. Pick your favorite game, pick the motion like colors that are going to be in the backs, like a screensaver, like motion background. I just love that. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah, Xbox One dashboard was fuck ugly. That was
It's my favorite, Adam, and I'm sticking to it. I think it's beautiful.
that was the last generation I was with Xbox, and I can remember having several arguments about that dashboard. But I understand that if that was your main, like you just adjusted to it. For me, for somebody who is very Xbox adjacent and would just go there sometimes, I'd be like, what is happening? What the hell is this? Good pick. I appreciate it. Mine is the Wii dashboard, which had a series of television icons that you would click on to launch a channel. It was all based on what television used to be, which was channel based. And the thing that I liked so much about the Wii dashboard was that they had so many things that were specific to the dashboard. You could go on and get the weather. You could go on and vote for your favorite Mii. Like they had contests about designing Mii characters. They had news, like world news you could go into. At the time that the Wii came out, I think I spent probably like 30 to 40% of my time on the Wii just doing shit on the dashboard. Like not even playing the games, but I remember going in there and I've got to do everybody votes. They'd have like this voting thing where everybody could go in and pick it'd be like peanut butter or jelly. And I'd be like, I gotta log in and do everybody votes and vote for peanut butter. I have to. And I remember just being so in love with navigating the non-game aspect of the Wii. And that was thanks to its dashboard. It wasn't very aesthetically pleasing. It wasn't incredibly clever, but it was engaging. Like, I felt like I needed to check in on the channels every time I turned on my Wii. Did you must have had a Wii, right?
Yeah, I had a Wii. I after it died down, I had sold it, and then I got it again later. And I appreciate the internet-based hey, do a little quiz. You feel connected, the news stuff. There wasn't
Back
there
in the day.
there was weather on there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Something like that. And it's I like that type of stuff, but I wasn't compelled by it.
Sure.
I think it goes back to the fact of I hate Mii's.
Oh my God.
Why do people like Mii's exactly? It's oh, it's me. I'm but not really. I don't find Mii's charming. I don't have positive or negative feelings about Mii's. The music is all I'll give you. That and that it's kind of grid based. So
yeah,
the menu music was fantastic, and that would be the reason I was there, not to click on the the different stuff.
When I think about how boring as shit the Switch UI is,
I'm mad about it all the time.
It's so bad. And then
it works. I'm it's slow effort.
It's snappy.
Right?
It's easy. I'm no, man, I used to be able to go and fucking check the weather. I want that. I want the fun. I want the music. There's no music. There's no music on the Switch UI.
Can it be snappy and can't it perform well and be simple and have the option for
it's a shame.
Music's off by default and you have to turn it on. It's so have fun this way. Be satisfied with this. Yeah. It's trash actually. Because you do have your favorites most do on the Switch, but to get to anything else, I don't find I find zero joy in navigating anywhere within my Switch 2. Yeah, so
agreed. This program is powered by Megadad's Boost, our public support program. You can join at patreon.com/Megadads. For over 10 years, Megadads has been bringing you the best in podcasts, reviews, interviews, family fun, and so much more. As an independent media organization, we rely on audience members like you to help support what we do, to ensure that Megadads can continue to bring you the great content that you enjoy. If you've been watching, listening, or playing along through the years, please consider lending your support by becoming a member of Megadad's Boost. Memberships start for as little as $1 a month, and you can start collecting your Boost rewards from day one. Rewards like art cards, early access podcasts, reviews, gameplay clips, and so much more. Please visit patreon.com/Megadads and become a member today. You can help us continue to make more of that Megadads coverage you've loved over the last 10 years well into the future by becoming a member of Megadads Boost. And that sound right there is the caboose. That means it's the end of this episode of Megadads Live, where we bring you a recommendation of something outside the world of video games. Mine's kind of connected in a way. I took my family to the Memories of Hyrule piano concert.
Oh my God.
And this was it was a short 1-hour experience. Tickets were extremely reasonable. I think they were $30 to $40. Intimate setting, one guy on a piano. The stage was alit with crystals and fairies and Korok seeds. And the guy plays arrangements from the series, from the entire series history. He'll do little pockets from games. So he's now I'm going to do a melody from Twilight Princess. Now I'm going to do a melody from Link to the Past. Because it's an hour and because the series is so vast, he doesn't hit anything. Dude never touched on Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, which I thought was interesting because the Breath of the Wild music is mostly piano, but he did cover Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. And it was so cool to just sit with my kids. Elliot is he knows a little bit about Zelda, not so much the deep history, but my daughter knows nothing. And they could have an appreciation just for the musicality of it. Classical piano, hearing somebody who's a really expert pianist just go to town is a sight to behold. Piano is such a difficult skill and a difficult instrument to learn. And this guy was just fantastic. They just wrapped up their Midwest leg of the tour. And now I believe they're going out west to like California, things like that. So you can go to their website or you can go to Instagram, Memories of Hyrule, see where they're going next. If they are coming to a town near you, I highly recommend that you give it a shot. It was a wonderful, quick, easy breezy concert. Afterwards, the pianist came out to the lobby to meet people and to talk. So my kids got a photo with him and got to thank him for the show. It was a really good time. Have you ever been to one of these video games?
I have not yet, but I am extremely interested. I've shared my experience with seeing the live rock cover band
Bit Brigade, right?
Bit Brigade. And the orchestra music, the piano music, I have to go to one of those because it's people who don't like video games necessarily like can listen to these songs and just appreciate them for how wonderful they are. Gaming music is just, as we both know, huge. It adds so much to the story. It can tap into your emotions. It's just there's amazing talent that has gone into making some of these gaming classic songs. So just to experience that live, I just wonder like how old kids have to be. What would you say how old you like I can bring a child and they'll like sit through the hour? Do you think?
I'll tell you, in the first 10 minutes, somebody had to walk out with their kid because their kid wouldn't shut up.
Oh, they were talking?
Oh, they were talking and yelling and shouting at the pianist. And I was like, please, God. There were a lot of kids there. There's a couple people in cosplay. Like it was just a fun time to be when we were in line to go in to see the wide swath of the gaming community there. You know, you had your people dressed up as Link. You had people that were in suit and tie out for a night in the city. Like it was just kind of cool. Kids, adults. There were some, I don't know, I don't want to say elderly people, but like there were some older people in there. And I'm just like looking at all these folks and thinking, how cool is it that we are all brought together by the history of this game franchise, right? There's people quite a bit older than me who must have been playing, 8-bit Zelda, when they were probably, in their 20s or 30s or whatever. And I don't know. It was just a great communal experience. And I talked about this last time we recorded. The best part of gaming is like when we can come together and have these moments with the community. So yeah, Memories of Hyrule is a great way to do that. What's up your caboose, my friend?
I got a last minute invitation yesterday to Ozzie Guillen's jersey retirement. He's a player on the Chicago White Sox. He was a former player, extremely good defenseman. Like he was a shortstop who won the Golden Glove, and he eventually went on to coach. So he was the manager of the White Sox during their World Series win about a decade back, and he is an announcer now. So he does all of the like interviews and like after the game talking about like the breakdown, like why they won, why they lost, etc. He's a fan favorite. I've met him multiple times. He just walks around and like will take pictures with you. And my last name is Guillen, so we've always loved the player because we share same last name. It's always been kind of a thing. Like we can easily buy jerseys with our name on them because it's his jersey. So like we would just always buy his stuff because it's ours. And we went, and last minute we were trying to get these tickets to go see it, and we couldn't. And then we just got a call, be like, can you make it? So we jumped up and went. the big takeaway from this is it was a 6 o'clock game with a 5 o'clock ceremony, and people were lined up at like 2-3 o'clock, so hours and hours and hours.
Wow.
When we arrived, we left like 2 hours early. It took us an hour to get there, and when we got there, the line was from the stadium down the expressway.
That's
like
cool.
the connecting, the expressway is right next to the stadium, but it was minimum a mile long. Like they would have people from the stadium down the line, snake through the parking lots, down and around, down across the street. Like it went down, and I've never seen a line that bit. So basically anyone who was going was trying to be there early. They were giving out like a jersey for free to the first like whatever fans, and everybody was there. There was trash cans that were filled. It looked like a pyramid from all the beer that was just it. I have a picture. It was just like a mound of beers. Just, it was a incredible time, and we sat right in front. Like,
That's awesome.
there's the stage that they set up on the field, and we were like on the balcony, like right there. So this guy, I was like, thank you so much, like a friend of my dad's, whatever. I was like, thank you. It was insane. You know, you got the guys like doing the emotional speeches. They brought out all the former like White Sox people. It was a long ass day, but it was incredible. So if you can like get to like sporting events that are, you know, important to you, try to see one or two of them. Again, you got to be blessed, you got to be lucky and have some money a lot of times, but whatever brings you joy, you know, like a lot of people have either sports stuff or people that they want to see. Maybe it's an artist,
Right.
just experiences. You know, a lot of us, you know, the touch grass thing is real,
Yes.
because you could very well like pass on like things like this sometimes, but like try to go to a couple.
I know a lot of people in our Discord are like, I don't think there's very many sports fans.
Oh,
in our
no,
Discord at all.
sports
And they usually
balls
make
is-
fun of us when
Yeah.
sport time comes around. But I'm right there with you, man. To have your team and your lifetime team, that's a special thing. And I think if you're not a sports fan, it's kind of hard to understand. But I'm glad that you have that appreciation.
You've been to some cool Viking stuff that didn't go well, though, right? Like you've been to like a
I mean,
playoff game or something, haven't
And
you?
the history of the Vikings is it didn't go well. That's the story of the
Yeah.
Vikings. But still, despite all of that, and honestly, maybe because of all of that, like there's something about being a homer for your team through the good, through the bad.
Yeah.
The losses make the wins that much better. And to be able to connect with that, like that becomes part of your family. Like you said, like that's ingrained in your family is being a fan of that team. So
Yep.
good stuff. Well, that's it for this episode of Mega Dads Live. Thank you so much for listening, for watching here at youtube.com/megadads, for joining us in the Discord, or maybe you're a booster. Maybe you support at patreon.com/megadads. We appreciate you so much. And we really hope to see you at TootyCon. We'll be doing Mega Dads Live 250 at TootyCon
Yeah.
on August 22nd at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Go to TootyCon.net to check it out, get your tickets, and we will see you there. And we'll see you next time for an all-new episode of Mega Dads Live.